Hey folks, so we have three things on the table today. So the first thing I want you to do is to learn about assignment one. So the first thing, go ahead and check out this video, Introduction to Assignment 1, and then the next step, of course, would be to actually read the handout for assignment 1. You don't want to complete an assignment without, reading it. So there's that. Then finally for assignment 1, just make sure that you write down these important dates, okay? These are the kind of upcoming dates. If you've got a planner, I'd put those in there. And I just want to clarify, I am only introducing assignment 1 today, all right? And I do this at the beginning of every unit. I introduce the assignment that I want you to do because that way, for the rest of the weeks that we're working toward whatever that assignment is, you're like, oh, I know exactly what Dr. G wants me to do. And then it's not that hard. It's not like I'm sneaking something up on you at the end. Okay. So there's that. Super. Okay, so in task 2, you're going to learn the anatomy of an academic article. There is a really tiny, like a mini lecture, it's not mine, and it's super cute, so cartoons on the anatomy of an academic article. So definitely check that out. You'll see me commenting on the video, and that's because there are certain things, like the video itself is super cute, but there are parts of it that I kind of feel like benefit from my explanation. Okay, so there's that. And just in case you're curious, like this is how I take notes on my own academic articles, so I linked to that. And these are the kinds of methods that I always use in my own kind of work with like academic articles. And the reason why you want to take notes on academic articles, just as a sidebar, is just because it makes it so that you don't have to read the article over again. Okay, so there's that. In task 3, we are going to learn about this exercise that we are going to be doing not only in Unit 1, but also in Unit 2 when we're working on our second assignment. So this is actually a really important activity that we're going to learn about. So there is a video introduction where I just kind of introduce what it is that I want you to do, okay? And then from there, I want you to make sure to read the, there's like a handout. It's like, hey, this is how you do this. So I always kind of explain it in terms of a video and then ask you to look at the handout, okay? Just to make sure that we are being really precise here. And then I'm going to give you an example of what it looks like to successfully participate in an active reading exercise. So there's a sample that kind of shows you what that looks like. The last thing that I want you to do is just to check out this little My Little Pony article. We're not actually going to read this. It's super cute though. I just want you to like practice clicking on this article and then highlighting a piece of the article and then commenting on it. And that's super easy to do, right? So you see that my students here have done this throughout, but you just kind of highlight this little thing and you'll notice that when you highlight it, there's a little plus that happens. Oh my God, you don't need to see me that big. No one needs to see me that big. But Lord, oh my goodness, why is it doing this? I'm going to minimize myself. Oh my God, I am so sorry. Just highlight on that, click the little plus. So sorry, that's a lot of me. But anyway, you are going to click on that article, practice highlighting something, and then pressing the little comment feature, okay? And I show you how to do that in a previous video, the one where I talk about how to do it in this overview, okay? Again, you do not have to read this article. I just want you to start like practicing it, right? Practicing how to like highlight something and add a comment because that's important. Okay, so that's what we're doing in class, right? So again, just like a lot of like in-class activities. And the reason we're doing that is so I'm not wasting your time, right? So I'm cutting down on your homework and we're like actively engaging in class, all right? Super. So now that we know how to do that active reading exercise, our first, we're going to practice that for homework. So I want you to read Tobin et al. Et al. Means and gang and crew, right? It means that there are like more than 2 or 3 authors for a piece. That's when you use the et al, right? So anyway, you're going to read Tobin et al.'s Images of gender, race, age, sexual orientation in Disney feature-length films. I think there's also body size in there. Anyway, whatever. They don't put it all in there. But, and I think they also talk about disability. It's this really kind of cool bird's eye view of how Disney tends to represent various social groups in their animations. So that's important. So definitely check that out. All right. Now you're going to read it, but you're also going to employ that active reading model. So what that means is you're going to like open up this like article right here, and you're going to actually like read it in Google Drive. And then when you see something that you want to comment on, you are going to go ahead and highlight that thing and then put like your comment in there. And remember that you're practicing that 1+2 active reading model, which means that you have to at least comment on one thing that you find interesting, right? Explain why you find it interesting, and then read and respond to at least 2 of your peers' comments, so that we're actually like dialoguing about the articles as we're reading it. And that's actually really important because that means that we're never reading the articles alone. So I think some folks think that like reading academic articles is like an isolating process. So this kind of really takes the sting out of that, because you're always like reading it and like crowdsourcing that knowledge and having that conversation with your peers. Okay. So there's that. Now, I do want to say this, please, pretty please, with sprinkles and cherries and all the caramel syrup or whatever the heck, right, on top, don't resolve anyone's comments, okay, in an article. So like, for instance, don't press resolve on this, because what'll happen is it will make it so that that comment goes away, and then it sucks because I have to like go back on the back end and like find the comment that was deleted. It's just shenanigans. And remember that like, I'm actually checking to see that people have like participated in the conversation, right? And I do that by checking to see that you've done both parts of the active reading exercise. So that's why you don't want to like delete stuff, because you'll end up like screwing over your peers. If it happens, and I really hope it doesn't, all right? But if for some reason it does end up happening, 1, please don't do it again, because oh my God, it's such a pain in the butt. But 2, just message me so I can, and if you can tell me like whose comment you deleted, bless, it will be really helpful. All right, because then I can go back and like recover it. All right, so just let me know. But again, please try to avoid that. Oh my God, right? Also keep in mind that like if you're one of the first people to do the homework, super, that's awesome. But that means that you're probably going to have to like close out of the PDF after you've like read it and like put whatever comment you wanted, comments or comment on the piece, close it out, and then come back a little bit later so that there are comments that you can respond to from your peers. Okay, so just want to keep that in mind. The last thing, and I say this, please don't skip these active reading exercises. These actually end up helping you throughout. Like these active reading exercises actually help you complete not just this assignment, but assignment 2 and then assignment 3. So they're really, really important. But the other thing is like you are getting points for doing this, and they're like relatively easy points, and they add up, because I think there are something like 9 or 10 active reading exercises. And so what we really don't want is a situation where you're like, oh yeah, they were 2 points apiece and I just like totally didn't do them, because that means that like that's 18% of your grade. So don't do that to yourself, right? It's like super easy. Just go ahead and do it. Don't skip these. All right. So that note reminder is going to be throughout the semester, but just please don't forget, right? So that's your homework. You're going to read that Tobin et al. Piece in Google Drive. You're going to practice that 1+2 active reading exercise, and then you're good to go. Okay. So that's the homework, and I will see you on September 2nd. Take care.